Right now at 5, jury selection underway in the Madeline Kingsbury murder case.
And the unsheltered encampment on La Crosse's north side is cleared out.
You're watching WKBT La Crosse. This is News 8 Now at 5.
Good evening, everyone, and thanks for joining us for News 8 Now at 5. I'm Ken Kozarowski.
And I'm Emily Brown. Jury selection began today for the man accused of killing Winona mother Madeline Kingsbury. That took place at the Blue Earth County Justice Center in Mankato this afternoon. Back in June, Adam Fravel's attorneys argued he would not get a fair trial in Winona County due to extensive media coverage. That motion was granted and the trial moved. Fravel is currently facing 2 charges of first-degree murder.
The man accused of trying to strangle a woman to death in a La Crosse storage unit is bound over for trial. 44-year-old Freeman Cole is facing several charges, including attempted first-degree homicide. In La Crosse County Court this morning, a judge found probable cause for him to continue to trial. Cole's been refusing to leave his cell for court appearances, forcing correctional officers to place a tablet near his cell so he could hear the proceedings. His arraignment is scheduled for Friday at 10:30 a.m.
One person is dead following a Jackson County car accident on Sunday. According to the sheriff's office, the crash happened around noon on County Road C in the town of Albion. Responders found 2 vehicles with significant damage when they arrived. One of the vehicles had multiple passengers. Several were injured, and one person was pronounced dead on scene. Names have not yet been released, and the cause is still under investigation.
Today marks 1 year since the October 7th terror attack that killed 1,200 people in Israel. More than 200 people were taken captive, including 40 Americans. Since then, fighting in the Hamas-controlled territory has been raging, with tens of thousands of Palestinians dead. This morning, Congressman Derek Van Orden spoke on the attacks and offered his sympathies to the Jewish community.
This is the 1-year anniversary of the most horrific attacks on the Jewish people since the Holocaust. So if you do have Jewish friends or relatives, give them a call today, please, and tell them that you're thinking about them. Tell them that you're doing everything you can to make sure that not only do they survive as a people, but they're able to thrive and live in peace.
Senator Tammy Baldwin also releasing a statement commemorating the anniversary of the attack, stating, quote, "1 year ago, the world witnessed Hamas brutally murder 1,200 Israelis, kidnap hundreds of others, and plunge the region into chaos. My heart is with all those mourning a loved one taken too soon, or those still lying up at night unsure if a family member kidnapped is alive or not."
17 people in La Crescent were displaced this weekend following a fire at an assisted living facility.
News 8 Now's Allison Fergit joins us live in studio with the latest. Good evening, Allison.
Ken and Emily, the La Crescent community is rallying behind the residents of Traditions Assisted Living following the fire that left them without a home. Residents were moved into First Lutheran Church while a plan was made, but now all residents have been temporarily moved into other local assisted living facilities, like Springbrook Assisted Living in La Crescent and La Crosse's Riverside Transitional Care. It's unclear how long the residents will be at those facilities. The Red Cross for southeastern Minnesota responded to the incident. They say the aftermath of fires like this can be complicated since residents might need special medical care, but they have volunteers that make sure health needs are met.
When someone has a prescription that they need to take at a certain schedule, or they have a medical device that is critical for them, those volunteers of ours can work with 24-hour pharmacies and other community resources to make sure and fulfill those needs.
She adds that the Red Cross will be giving affected residents the maximum amount of financial assistance that they can. And speaking to La Crescent residents today, there's been an outpouring of support for the displaced residents. Many people are donating clothes or finding other ways to help. Now the La Crescent Together Facebook page has more information about how you can donate. Ken and Emily, back to you.
All right, Allison, thank you. We did reach out to the La Crescent Fire Department. We are awaiting a response. The cause of the fire has still not been officially released.
Well, many areas this morning actually got down close to freezing or went below that. We still have some frost advisories for tonight. Really, this is kind of the time of year you would expect to see this. So any type of plants you have outside, either cover them or bring them inside, regardless if you're under a frost advisory or not. Temperatures are still going to get in the 30s, near 40, but we still have that out there. There's your lows this morning. Some areas got down to freezing. We're talking mid to upper 20s, more of those commonly cold spots. So once again, time of year to see these temperatures over. There's just a few clouds that we've had earlier this morning that's pushed off to the south. Big picture shows the track is well to the north for all the activity, and there's your hurricane, which has spiked up to a Category 5 this evening, and it's taken aim for western Florida here in a couple days. But for us, it's really going to be a quiet evening. Those winds that have been kind of breezy up to the north will begin to decrease, getting back down to 50, which is pretty seasonal for this time of year to see these temperatures this type of evening. And less winds also in the store for La Crosse out of the west, become light and variable with clear skies, getting back down to around 50. Now, overnight lows will be very similar to last night, maybe a degree or two colder, warmer, than other locations that we saw last night, but still getting back down to the 30s to the low 40s for most locations. Very quiet, and the big story is going to be, is any rain going to be coming? Because right now this pattern is dry, mild. We're going to still maybe see an 80 again once again this week, but we're going to break down if we're going to see any type of rain, which we are pretty dry going into the second week of October now.
We sure have been. Thank you, Greg.
A La Crosse nonprofit is temporarily closed after a car crashed into their building. Hope Restores is an organization focused on connecting the African American community with local resources. The nonprofit announcing in a Facebook post that a car allegedly drag racing struck a staff member's truck on Saturday, in turn causing damage to their building on Copeland Avenue. Hope Restores is now waiting on an inspection and damage assessment.
Wisconsin DOT contractors are clearing out the unhoused encampment over on Rose Street. La Crosse police are keeping an eye on things as about 30 people leave the area around the Welcome to La Crosse statue across from Bridgeview Plaza. This summer, La Crosse's Common Council banned camping on city property. That pushed a lot of the unhoused to this spot, which city officials say is actually state land. After continually being moved, the question emerges once more, where will the unsheltered community go next?
I'm just glad they're doing something about it, but I'm scared in the same sense because I don't know where they're going to go. Every neighborhood is at risk of having their garage broke into and stuff, and it's not okay.
The DOT gave the people at the encampment a 30-day notice in September, citing safety concerns for both residents and drivers. As they clear the area, they say they're still trying to connect people with housing resources.
$3 million. That's how much money La Crosse's public library is receiving for renovations. Governor Evers and the Wisconsin Department of Administration is announcing $115 million in ARPA grants to revitalize libraries and community centers across the state. La Crosse will be using the money to expand the library with 3 additional classrooms, 5 meeting rooms, and 2 new computer labs. The City of Independence also receiving a sizable sum. They're bringing in about $4.1 million to build a brand new community learning center and public library.
Giving wildlife a rest.
How one organization is helping birds prepare for migration when we come back.
Small businesses are the backbone of our community. These places employ us, sponsor the Little League team, and feed and clothe us. That's why I'm proud of the work I've done to support our business community. I know that the side of the aisle you're on matters less than being on the side of our main streets. No party has a monopoly on good ideas. I'm Steve Doyle, and I'm working for our businesses, working for our communities, and I'm working for you.
It's Blaine's Farm & Fleet's big snacking and candy event. Right now, save on our incredible one-of-a-kind selection of craveable candies, nuts and trail mixes, and more. Like Blaine's Farm & Fleet Select Milk Chocolate Peanut Butter Malt Balls, just $7.99. Resealable bags of Blaine's brand cashews or mixed nuts, $17.99. Rewards members save an extra $3. Select classic candies are on sale, 20% off. Plus, save the date for Blaine's Farm & Fleet's Toyland opening weekend. The magic begins Saturday, October 12th.
Are you ready to build your future? Stella Jones Corporation in Bangor is hiring and wants you to apply. Starting wage for laborers is $21 per hour with a $2,500 hiring bonus. No experience but a great attitude? Then apply today. Stella Jones Corporation is where safety matters and wages sustain a comfortable living. If you have what it takes and can stand behind our railroads, then we want you to apply today.
Who's that Derek Van Orden think he is? He thinks he's better than us. Like that time he screamed at somebody, I don't give a who you are. I'm a congressman.
Language! Who does Derek Van Orden think he is, supporting an abortion ban?
I'm Rebecca Cook. Let me tell you who I am. I grew up on a dairy farm, run a small business, and I wait tables. Around here, we work hard, respect our neighbors' freedoms, and aren't looking for special treatment. We need one of us to represent us. That's why I approve this message.
Quartz takes a different approach to health insurance. We know every life well lived is a journey, and we're here to light the way at every step. That's why for 40 years, we've been alongside the doctors and hospitals who know what their communities need. Because they're a part of them. Because we're a part of them. There's a fire burning in all of us. Let's ignite it together. Quartz. Find your spark.
You're watching News 8 Now. Expect more.
Well, check your smoke alarms because National Fire Prevention Week is officially underway.
Yeah, the La Crosse Fire Department is hosting a series of events aimed at educating residents on fire safety. They are visiting local schools, spreading the word about the importance of creating an escape plan and having functional smoke alarms. Pushing the theme of this year, smoke alarms make them work for you.
The fire department.
Stopping places here on the river are very similar for birds. It's kind of their rest area, it's their gas station, and they need that time to be able to rest and feed in order to have a successful migration, just like we need gas stations to gas up our cars. So.
The U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service is asking boaters to give wildlife a rest at voluntary waterfowl avoidance. These areas on the Mississippi River are marked with orange and white buoys. The plants that grow in these areas are critical food sources for ducks.
And by keeping boats out of the refuge areas, it provides a safer place for birds to rest and gives them a better chance to reach their winter habitat with enough body fat to survive. Well, we'll have more news ahead.
But first...
Hey, we got another night of frost potential there for some areas. If you were looking for more mild, more early September-like weather, we got that coming back, and even the 80s potentially coming back this week. We'll break it all down for you later in a First Warn weather update after the break.
Arthritis, high blood pressure, breast cancer. Almost everyone has a pre-existing condition and could lose health insurance if Derek Van Orden and Washington Insiders get their way. They take money from big insurance companies, then try to strip coverage for pre-existing conditions. Van Orden and Washington Insiders don't care about you, so if you get sick, you get dropped. Time to drop Derek Van Orden and these Washington Insiders from Congress.
I'm Rebecca Cook, and I approve this message.
When it's time for better storage, Dakota Closets is the solution. Menards carries a great selection of closets that are perfect for any space. For home offices, laundry rooms, standard closets, and even storage for your kids' playrooms. There are so many ways to store your items. And with Dakota Closets, you can do it with style and ease. Right now, get this Dakota Closet system for $839.98 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
We need real working people in Washington.
What a phony. Cook spent the last decade working as a political operative, earned her money helping defund the police radicals like Mandela Barnes, the most anti-police candidate in Wisconsin history. Now, Cook won't let you protect your family. She wants to ban the most popular rifle in the country, earning an F from the NRA. Rebecca Cook, phony insider, dangerously liberal.
I'm Derek Van Orden, and I approve this message.
You just have to get in the seat of a John Deere Gator XUV 835M, not because of the spacious cargo box, or because it can tackle any terrain, not even because it tows up to 4,000 pounds. You just have to get in the seat because something about being this productive just makes you smile.
Visit Tractor Central, take a seat, and see for yourself why nothing runs like a Deere. Start now at TractorCentral.com.
I'm Stacy Klein. As a volleyball mom, I remember looking forward to our week for team snacks. But now even the generic brands are expensive. And while career politicians are busy pointing fingers and bickering, Wisconsin families are still suffering. That's why I'm running for state senate, to lower the cost of living, cut taxes, and get Madison back to working as a team again. Because Western Wisconsin families are tired of settling for generic brands and generic politicians.
If you're starting to see a little more color around the area, that's kind of in time. We're starting to see that pick up, even getting closer to peak as you go further north. So next week and a half, that's really when we'll start seeing the color, and then the peak for at least our area, La Crosse to Eau Claire, comes here in about 2 weeks, and then it'll quickly go further south. So we're getting there, And if you want to see the color, really, we have fantastic weather, really. We're not going to see a lot of wind going on this week, and especially we're not going to see any rainfall, too. So our average temperatures should be now in the low to mid-60s. Low 60s as you go further north, mid-60s further south. Overnight lows should be getting more into the upper 30s, low 40s. Now, this is where we should be. We haven't been really that close, except for a few days here and there, all the way going back to September, that we should be there. So really tonight, chilly once again, not quite maybe as we should be. Last night we were with more mid-30s. Still there'll be 30s to low 40s, so frost will be possible, especially in those low-lying areas that are sheltered too. Milder and quiet for Tuesday and Wednesday. Will be closer. We'll be above average tomorrow. Everyone should be really the 70s by Wednesday, and dry, light winds too, and warm conditions. We're talking potentially 80 once again for many areas Thursday and especially Friday, before we kind of repeat what we had last week when we had a cold front come through the weekend and we cooled down. So Saturday wasn't as bad, Sunday back to average. So that's what this weekend looks kind of shaping up. Really the pattern continues to the north. Occasionally we see it kind of turn a little bit more northwest like we saw this weekend into Monday. That cools us back down, back to where we should be, keeps us dry, but then this jet goes right back up to the north, pushes over east over our area, so then we kind of go back to this warm pattern, especially as you go further west. There's not much of any precipitation out there too. So tonight, once again, the temperatures that we're looking at, upper 30s, low 40s, maybe a degree or two warmer in some locations. The frost possible, especially further east you go in the colder locations. Tomorrow's high, more 70s, mid-60s to the north, low 70s to south, a few degrees above average, but all in all milder than we saw for Monday, and lighter winds too out of the northwest. Then Wednesday, the winds become really light and variable, allowing our temperatures to get to the mid-70s, upper 60s to the north, potentially a few areas getting closer to 80, but I think that's more going to happen on Thursday and Friday. And really, if you look at the pattern right now, the warm, even hot conditions to the south, we're going to keep it going. And really, the only thing that you're going to notice is the warm air gets to be pulled back to the north towards our areas. We go to Thursday and Friday as another little front begins to push into the Pacific Northwest. That's going to bring our next shot of cooler air, really, and that's about it coming into the weekend. Maybe more clouds as we go into Friday as the system begins to approach. So we'll see that kind of come through on Saturday. Temperatures drop Saturday a little bit, and then they'll really take a little bit of a dive come Sunday as the front kind of swings south, the wind direction changes aloft, and we get back to where we should be, which would be about 50s to low 60s by Sunday. And once again, we're kind of repeated as we go into next week. The one thing you don't see on this is precipitation. We have nothing in the forecast really going on. If you look at temperatures overall, there's your mild temperatures coming, so we'll be well above average going to Thursday into Friday, and then even to Saturday, but then you see it kind of fall back, so we'll go back to about the mid to upper 60s on Saturday, and then Sunday we'll get very close to where we should be, which is upper 50s, low 60s. So we've seen this already go on last week, going on this week, and potentially the pattern's not going to change much as we go throughout next week, and that could be a concern with drought conditions as we go on. If you look at the 8-day forecast, precipitation-wise, we look not a chance. There might be a few sprinkles potentially Saturday night with the front come through. Otherwise, the temperatures fall back, kind of like we had this Sunday. They're going to fall back next Sunday to where we should be. A cooler start to Monday, and we warm up back to Tuesday. So all in all, it's going to be a warm day. Friday, 82. The record is 86. I don't think we'll see records. Potential there for another 80-degree day, and then we kind of cool back off. But we really could use the rainfall. And right now, if you look beyond next week, it could be like the 20th or 21st till we start seeing chances of rain come.
And that's quite a stretch right there.
Yeah, now the good point is harvesting of corn, soybeans is starting to pick up now, which is what they'd like to see. But the dryness is something that we don't want to see too long, given that the leaves and the fire weather situation could get a little bit more concerned.
Sure, we've already seen a little bit of that this month.
Yes, we have.
All right, Greg, thanks very much. Well, an internet sensation is taking over New York's subways.
How his simple sketches are spreading joy across the city.
A Winona organization is helping residents share their stories. Tomorrow on News 8 Now This Morning, we'll take a look at the upcoming Sandbar Storytelling Festival happening this weekend.
Clear Choice Window and Home Solutions, your choice for quality, affordable windows, installed by our experienced team. Contact us or stop into our showroom today for your free estimate.
I've met so many people in western Wisconsin looking for a change. We need fresh ideas to tackle the issues families are facing every day. Inflation, healthcare costs, tax relief. In November, vote for someone putting in the legwork to find solutions. Vote Ryan Hipsch for Assembly.
I'm Tammy Baldwin. and I approve this message.
Fentanyl is killing over 1,000 people a year in Wisconsin. New reporting shows that Eric Hovde is doing business with a bank accused of links to the Mexican drug cartel. Banco Azteca loaded up $26 million in cash and flew it to Eric Hovde's bank in California. Other U.S. banks have cut ties with this Mexican bank, but Eric Hovde took their money. That's 26 million more reasons you can't trust Eric Hovde.
Your journey to wellness begins at Vernon Memorial Healthcare, where excellence in orthopedic care is a reality. From initial consultation to post-operative recovery, every step of the way is tailored to you. The numerous awards for orthopedic services are a testament to our entire team's skill and dedication. Your path to wellness is paved with our unwavering support and expertise. Trust us for a brighter, more active tomorrow. Vernon Memorial Healthcare.
Career politician Tammy Baldwin doesn't share our Wisconsin values. Baldwin's life partner is a Wall Street executive who has invested in industries that Tammy oversees in Washington. But Senator Baldwin refuses to disclose her partner's financial assets. That's a conflict of interest. They're getting richer while you're paying more. Tammy Baldwin's not on your side. She's in bed with Wall Street.
I'm Eric Hovde, and I approve this message. Join the team and give today.
Steve Doyle says,
I'm working for you.
Unless, of course, you're a senior on fixed income or middle-class family. Steve Doyle voted against bipartisan tax relief to help you with rising costs. Steve Doyle, playing political games, not working for us.
You expect more, so thank you for watching News 8 Now.
Well, celebrating this Hispanic Heritage Month, we've got a look at a sketch artist who went viral drawing strangers underground.
Devon Rodriguez made his name sketching passengers on the New York City subway and sharing their reactions on social media. He now has more than 33 million followers on TikTok, enjoying the success of his talent after a tough upbringing. It's the quality of his detailed drawings and the delight on people's faces that seem to resonate.
I think people love like the wholesome quality of somebody feeling like they were so seen. So when you're watching the video of somebody receiving their portrait, you almost feel what they feel. I'm always trying to treat people the way I want to be treated.
A golden rule right there. Yeah. Rodriguez has even drawn Oprah and the president. He's expanded the experience by interviewing his subjects as well. And right away, I'm jealous of the artistic talent.
Oh yeah, that's precision.
We've talked at length about being unable to draw like stick figures. So to do something like that in a short window of time is really, really cool.
I would feel so flattered. He came up to me and like, oh, you're my muse right now, and I drew you just staring into space. Like you have no idea that he's doing it, but that you inspired him to create something like that. Like you can imagine like feeling good about that.
Sure, and stereotypically too about the subway, like you kind of just keep to yourself. At least that's how it's portrayed all the time. Yeah. And then to have a nice wholesome moment like that, and you kind of, like you say, kind of get snapped out of your day to day and
then
have
he
a
gets,
cute little moment.
Then he gets the Oprah and the president calling. You know,
33 million followers. That dude's doing something right.
Yeah, get creative with the small moments in your life. I like it. Okay, we'll have another look at tonight's forecast right after the break.
The lawyer you choose makes a difference because you get this one chance to get this right, and you want somebody that's going to fight for you and get you the resolution that you need. I'm so glad that I called BGR.
Fentanyl is one of the most lethal drugs on the market. This much can kill thousands. These deadly drugs are pouring across our border. But Biden, Harris, and Democrats have done nothing to stop it. Tammy Baldwin claims she's trying, but she's failed. She took credit for an anti-fentanyl bill she didn't write and opposed efforts to secure the border. Senator Baldwin and Democrats have done nothing, and our communities are paying the price.
I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message.
Do you need a floor tough enough to withstand your busy family, but still fits in your style and budget? Carpets To Go has what you're looking for. Our Mannington flooring is pet-friendly, dent and scratch resistant, waterproof, and easy to clean. Mannington Restoration Laminate is also steam mop approved and comes with a 25-year warranty. Mannington Aduramax comes with a lifetime warranty, is designed to dampen sound, and comes with Microban to help keep your floor 99% cleaner. Stop into Carpets To Go in Onalaska.
As the mom of a daughter, I'm livid that boys are now being allowed to compete in girls' sports. It's just wrong, and I blame Tammy Baldwin. She voted to let biological men into women's sports. Worse, Baldwin co-sponsored legislation to force girls to share locker rooms with biological men. Tammy Baldwin is failing to keep our families safe. Tammy Baldwin's extreme values are wrong for Wisconsin. Fix Washington PAC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Maxwell White, done right.
Maxwell White Plumbing proudly announces our first annual food drive in celebration of being in business for 30 years and our commitment to the communities we serve. From October 1st to 31st, we're partnering with the La Crosse Hunger Task Force. Donate while our professionals are at your home, at our West Salem location, or directly to the Hunger Task Force in La Crosse. As a thank you, get $15 off your service and we'll donate an additional $15 on your behalf. Join us in making a difference this October.
Kamala Harris is going to significantly raise taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
Kamala's plan will raise families' taxes by nearly $2,600 a year. Under Kamala, prices have already soared. Now she'd make it worse with even higher taxes.
Taxes are going to have to go up?
President Trump will cut taxes again. No taxes on tips, overtime, or Social Security.
I'm Donald J. Trump, and I approve this message.
When I called other lawyers, I wasn't even sure who was going to be representing me. Once I called BGR and talked to Brian, I felt secure immediately. I'm so glad that I called Bygoff and Rohde.
All right, we got this cute little graphic for harvesting forecast for tomorrow. Really, if you look at temperatures, winds, everything's going to be really pleasant. We go up to the low 70s, some areas in the upper 60s, but a little bit more milder and lighter winds than we've had on Monday. The rest of the forecast, really, it's kind of back to early September-like conditions with mid to upper 70s and the 80s. Could potentially make a return by Friday before we see another cool down back to where we should be, really, by Sunday. The one thing is dry, really, is the forecast.
And it could be a good weekend to bust out the flannel then, right?
Yeah, it sure is. Bust
Emily
it
sure
out
will.
now. I'm excited.
Thanks for joining us.
We'll see you at 6.